Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new crypto update. Today is going to be a short one because we're going to speak what is going to happen next and we're going to follow this plan accordingly. Unfortunately, our last trade hit stop loss today with minus 2.5%. Main reason for that was that a lot of the sell limits got deleted. So there's many sell limits that we had sitting around last price, so around 94k, and many of them got deleted. So as you can see right now, there's more buy limits coming in. So the orders, or basically the limits, were deleted or even triggered and was not enough volume and more buy pressure came in. The only thing right now is on the liquidation heat map, we're getting triggered in a yellowish area. So there's a lot of sells that have leverage that got liquidated or are getting liquidated right now, right? Or even more of them to come to be liquidated, right? So price loves magnetically to go to these liquidation areas, and that's what we're seeing right now. Right now, the main reason is obviously price wanted to go higher, and that's where it goes, right? At the end of the day, we had a fair value zone more or less over here. You see the accumulation phase, and then we have the distribution phase right now, which is basically this push up here, right? Our trade reacted perfectly fine, was in profit for 3%, and then unfortunately came back and now is hitting or hit C target basically of the smaller internal sequence. We still have the secondary sequence. The primary sequence is the bearish run, the whole big one that we are trading, right? So this one from the basically top, the whole black sequence with a C target at 78, and that's most likely where we want to go. We really want to go from where we started the sequence and finish it at 77 or 78, where it's most likely gonna go anyways, right? But now how it happens, that is always the clue, right? That's what we don't know. So right now we have an internal sequence, which is orange one, and my most likable outcome right now is for us to really go to the 50% correction, which would be my first trade setup, entering at around 98k, stop loss in between 0.86 and 822 Fibonacci, which is basically here, right? And then selling with a risk to reward of 12183, okay, or nearly 122, which is good. Second setup would be a sell when C target is finished, because what would be the most beautiful outcome and build up here, and the most likable outcome is going from here and really going up to hit C target, right? At the same time, finish this bullish internal structure, which leads us also into the selling area of BC of the bearish structure, right? Which is the 50% correction level over here that goes up to the 0.667 Fibonacci, which gives us our re-entry sell. And from here, we would start to react and finish the sequence, right? That's the most likable outcome right now. But there's many more, right? We could start to correct from here and drop lower, right, and get a re-entry and build up more bullish pressure to go up, or we can drop again from here, which I don't think is going to happen, and then go to the 78. There was too much bullish pressure right now. So my prediction is going from currently 96k up to at around 104, and from 104 then sharply drop towards the 77k, 78k C target, and really finish this bearish sequence. So that would be my highest probability setup, and that's why I'm selling. I'm not buying. I wouldn't even buy in the re-entry over here, even though EMA is coming in as support. As you can see, before EMA 200 was acting as very strong resistance in the downtrend over here, and then the trend canal got, or basically the price got more narrow, and we started to break out, retested at support, and crack a new high and break this last high over here, which is definitely bullish, right? But this is more leading us to more sell liquidity. I'm still very bearish and continuously gonna be bearish, okay? I'm gonna be focused on that. The only thing that is confusing is where it comes from. There's no real reason besides price action itself. As you know, at the end of the day in the market, there's buyers and sellers. And if buyers push higher, price goes high. If sellers push more, then price is gonna drop. Right now, we are going higher, and we need to see where are we getting stronger sell limits into, see a little bit more where price could start to react. Right now, we don't really have that. We have here 37 million, which is not a lot. And even if you check here, we are still in a bearish trend canal. Ichimoku shows us that, but we are kind of breaking out of it. And then we are starting to see more sell pressure coming at 78 or 77.9. Okay, so 78, if you check it out, 78 is, or 98, excuse me. 98 is here just before the 50% correction level, right? So that's where we see there could be price triggering a lot of sells, and the sell limits that are sitting right now on the heat map or in the market basically, right? And then really bring price down, which is completely okay and completely fine. and that's what trading is about, right? And that's the current scenario and focus. Now, with that being said, guys, if you want to learn trading, you want to learn the NXT system, over 30,000 people learn it. Let me know. Link is below. You can join the community. First of all, obviously watch the free blueprint of our community, what kind of systems and tools we have, how we integrate AI in trading. And again, all of that is below. Check it out if you really want to learn trading. So far, it breaks my streak in predicting the price of BTC perfectly. We unfortunately had a stop loss break even over here, and the first stop loss in a very long time, even though we had a lot of positive trades in the past, like this one, for example, with 6.4%, this one with 13.6%, and then even before there we had a stop loss. Here we had another take profit with 4.7%, right? And we had another stop loss over here. So we are still in profit overall with BTC, but that really ends the streak, unfortunately, for now, which comes to a trade. I said last time the trade is risky, but it makes sense, and the trade was perfectly executed. There was no reason to not trade it. Besides, obviously, the only thing which made it risky is this bullish internal sequence, right? And at the end of the day, it's completely okay that this happens, because if we have a Elliott wave and a active sequence, like for example this one in BTC, right? That's basically the one we have here, the big one, okay? Then how price gets there is always what we don't know. We just focus on the most important turning points in the market, right? Which are basically these ones over here that are marked in red, okay? And where we are right now is somewhere over here. So what we're doing is something like this, and we have a re-entry over here, which is the 50% correction level. So from BC, okay, is we take B, we go to where price was, right? Price was somewhere over here. That's the lowest point. And then it offers us a re-entry in between the 50% correction level somewhere over here. And that's where we are right now, right? And what we are trying to do, just to, you know, draw it aside so you guys get not confused with all of the drawings, right? What we're doing right now is basically this. This is the setup that we are following and what we want to trade, okay? And it's completely okay that we get this re-entry. That happens many times, okay? Re-entries are good. That's where we gain liquidity to push price lower or even higher depending on the setup. But in this setup, obviously lower, so we can finish the sequence. So I'm still bearish on BTC, or in crypto in general. Again, there's no real reason for that. Dixie is going pretty high. It's correcting a little bit now. We had news that are a little bit more neutral, but from the bottom to the top, we are increasing in Dixie, which normally means if crypto wants to go up, then we should go down in the Dixie, but we're going up, so therefore crypto should be going down, which we are not doing, right? So there's no real reason for that besides price action itself and not enough sell pressure and this very strong accumulation phase, or basically this very strong accumulation or sideways trend, which then leads into a distribution. And so far the distribution was loaded more towards the upside, and that's what we're seeing, a breakout towards the upside. I have an alarm sitting at 97.6, and that's where I'm going to enter. Any questions, anything you want to know, any feedback, put it below, and see you in the next one.